talking franchises here, bud.
What is this, Logan? What is it? 2000 and 20. When was COVID? 21? 20?
No, 2020. Well, technically 19.
Oh, right, because it's
COVID-19.
COVID-19. Right. Okay. All right. Hey, Logan, what is this? 2020? We all got masks on over here. Am I right?
Not me. I'm a rule breaker.
Oh, shit.
COVID's fake. You sheep.
See, listen to that. A Republican could never have become the mask. All right? Because he never would have popped that thing on.
Yeah, he would have been missing out.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have seen that thing in the ocean and been like, well, I hope some fucking libtard jumped off the bridge.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Snowflake melted before he hit the ground, probably.
Hell yeah, dude. We're talking about The Mask today and The Son of the Mask, all right? So that's like a good movie and a bad movie. Why not discuss them? Jim Carrey, he's in The Mask. That was the year of Carrey, 1994. This was the middle chapter, okay? He did Ace Ventura in February, The Mask in the summer, and then Dumb and Dumber in the fall. All right? It's a big deal. I was obsessed. Let's talk about The Mask, huh? Logan, did I introduce you? That's Logan Adair over there.
Hey, guys, I got my mask on. I gotta be honest.
I thought you didn't. You were lying before?
Oh, yeah.
We're lying now.
I forgot. No, I was lying now. I do have my mask. Oh, wait, I forgot what I said originally.
You like to come up with bits and then just abandon them 10 seconds later.
Yeah, I have too many bits juggling them, so I always forget which ones I have going.
I just have the 2 bits, baby.
No.
Old lefty and righty in my old pal Scroats.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I never been that big of a Jim Carrey fan.
I
never really got it.
It's because you weren't alive in 1994, Logan.
Yeah, I never thought he was that funny. I like Dumb and Dumber, and I like Liar Liar. Those are probably my favorite Jim Carrey movies. But aside from that, he can miss me a little bit.
Yeah, I sort of get it. He's broad. He's sort of his time. What about like his dramatic work? You can't get into a Truman Show?
Oh, no, you're right. That's good. Eternal Sunshine, those are good.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Logan's been trying to pressure me to do more video content on the podcast, all right? And we're not recording on video today, but we're going to soon. But what I realized is just now while you were talking, Logan, I reached into my boxers and I scratched right into my butthole. And that would have been on video.
Well, that wouldn't have been. That's a little far down. But we might have had a little questions like what's going on there.
That's right.
But again, I would have edited around that. So
I don't think you would have. I think that would have been the one spot you would have chosen.
But yeah, it might have been so good. I might have picked that. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I guess we'll see what makes for the best content.
Yeah. Stay tuned for some completely heartless, artless content coming from the
Not
franchise.
true. I'm the one creating it. I'm the editor. You'll feel all the heart coming through my little fingers.
Yeah. Enjoy that great 70 seconds of pure content.
Yeah. I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will too, Logan. Just don't tell me about it. Now, The Mask. Well, we're talking about how you don't like Jim Carrey except dramatic shit. Yeah. Look, he got his start. People compared him to like Jerry Lewis and shit. He was so broad, so out there. He came from like In Living Color, which was like an even broader, sillier Saturday Night Live. And I was 7 years old, Logan, when I saw Ace Ventura in theaters. It made me laugh.
Of course.
I laughed a lot at that movie, okay? Then, a couple months later, I'm all of a sudden the biggest fan of this guy. The Mask comes out July 29th. You know what that is, Logan? 2 days before my birthday.
Right.
All right? So I waited the 2 days, went to go see this on my birthday. It was like this guy had come out and was just like, I'm going to be your guy, Daniel. I'm your man. And I believed him. And Jim Carrey was my man for a few years. Okay?
No, I get it.
Yeah. No. The thing is, like, I get why people wouldn't like him. And I think you get why people would like him. So he's just divisive.
Yeah, I think you had to be the right age. If you're younger than Like if you're me or younger, you probably don't care too much.
That helped a lot. I mean, imagine seeing The Mask on your 8th birthday.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
I was more into Son of the Mask. Not really.
You're joking, right?
Well, I want to say I'd never seen Son of the Mask, but actually some things started happening in Son of the Mask, and I was like, oh, this is kind of what I thought the mask was. Like he shoots the bullets out of his fingers, and that's in the second movie. That doesn't happen in the first movie. I thought that was in the first movie.
No, because in the first movie they hadn't like pussied out yet. He was still able to like have a gun.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Now he just has his little fingers.
Yeah. Can I say something about Son of the Mask? This is the thing that bothers me the most about the entire movie.
Okay.
Why does the mask have hair?
Mask. Ooh.
It's like a little plastic haircut he's got. I hate it.
You know, I thought that he looked weird, and that's exactly what it is the hair.
Yeah, listen, Stanley Ipkiss had hair. You know, he put the mask on, and the mask went over the hair. It made him look bald.
Exactly.
What's up with the weird fake hair being created by the mask in the second one?
100%. You nailed it.
Thank you. All right. Next week on the show, what won the poll?
The Muppets.
The
See you next week for the Muppets.
Okay, see you next week, gang.
He had like the Futurama guy. It looked like had like the Futurama guy haircut.
Oh, you mean Fry?
I don't know. I only know him as the Futurama guy.
The main guy?
Yeah. Philip Fry. Yep.
Thank you. Okay. I watched a lot of Futurama in my day. And then I watched it when they rebooted it. And then I watched it when they rebooted it again. And then they rebooted it again. And I was like, enough. I've seen enough Futurama.
I didn't know you watched any of it.
I did. I kept up with it for years. And it was just this most recent reboot where I was like, listen, there have been enough reboots. We have said everything that needs to be said with the Futurama characters. I promise you.
Well, hope not. Hope we can cover it one day.
That's a TV show, Logan.
I know. I hope they make 2 films.
They actually did do 4 straight to TV movies at one point. I mean, technically, we could cover this.
Technically,
yeah.
we could.
Yeah. All right. The Mask, July 29th, 1984. Let's talk about it. This is based on a comic book from out of Dark Horse Comics. All right. They're sort of an indie company. They became best known for licensing. They would license properties and make comics out of them. Their 2 biggest at the time, well, it's pre-Buffy. They did have the Buffy license later, but they were doing a lot of Alien versus Predator comics. They were doing a lot of RoboCop, I think, that kind of thing.
Katy Perry really likes Dark Horse Comics, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As does Juicy J.
Oh, she has one Dark Horse too?
No, Juicy J has a guest rap in Katy Perry's.
Oh, no way. How did I not know that?
I'm sorry. Now, this film... Okay, so the comic, it was more on the horror tip. It was like somebody gets a hold of the mask, right? It's the same basic premise, and like it's their id, right? Like everything they really want comes out. But in the comic, usually it turned them into like some sort of crazy supervillain. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they were gonna go for in the movie. It was gonna be more on the horror tip. I think there were zombies in the original pitch for this movie.
Yeah.
And that's the reason they offered the film to director Chuck Russell, okay, who I'm a big fan of. His first 2 films as a director in the 80s were A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, aka the second best Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and the remake of The Blob, okay? So those are 2 really good movies on the horror tip. But Chuck Russell gets in charge of The Mask, and he's like, I don't think it really works. I think it's better if he's like likable, you know? And they were like, I guess go for it. So they got these guys, Mark Verheiden and Michael Fallon, to write the earliest drafts of the script. But and they ended up with story credits. Mark Verheiden went on to do a lot of stuff, mostly TV. He wrote for Smallville and Battlestar Galactica. So I would say probably lives in Canada. And And the final writing credit goes to a fellow named Mike Werb, who didn't have a huge career, but he has writing credits on both this and Face Off. So I mean, that's pretty good.
He likes to put faces on things.
Yeah. If I died and my tombstone said wrote The Mask and Face Off, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
I think he should do that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
They should put a mask on his tombstone also.
A
mask of his own face. Remember in the second movie when they took that
Here's
guy's
what they
face
should
off
do.
And put it on the thing?
Here's what they should do. Here's what the design on his tombstone should be. Okay. On the left side, it should be the left side of Nicolas Cage's face, right? Then on the right side of John Travolta's face, and then right in the middle, you pop the mask.
So it's split into thirds?
Yeah, it'd be a beautiful design.
I would rather do split into thirds, like top left, top right, bottom.
All right. Well, I think that we should both pitch to Mike Werb and see who he hires as the engraver of his tombstone.
Yeah, that's great, though.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so when this was going on, they were looking at 3 actors to play the lead: Rick Moranis, Martin Short, and Robin Williams. Okay,
all great.
I think all would have worked. By the way,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it didn't go to any of them. They turned it down or were busy or something. And then Michael DeLuca, who was in charge of New Line at the time, who had the rights, he was like a big In Living Color fan. And this was like before Ace Ventura was even a thing. He was just like, let's get that guy. I feel like all studios at the same time noticed Jim Carrey and were like, let's put that guy in movies.
So you said this was before all 3 of them? They all 3 came out this year. This is the first one to come out?
I believe this was the first one in development, but Ace Ventura came out first. This one had like a lot of special effects and shit.
Okay, that makes sense. So so this one basically comes first. It's like a little Ko Wrong Cambodia situation.
It's a little bit like Go Wrong in Cambodia. Yeah. Oh my god. I remember that year we couldn't shut up about that shit.
That was peak excitement for Survivor for me. It was the lead up to Cambodia.
I listened to all the Rob Has a Podcast interviews of everyone on the ballot for that thing. Yeah, I know.
That was so fucking exciting.
It was. Okay, so they rewrite it for Jim Carrey. That was kind of Mike Werb's job, and that's really what they used it for. Chuck Russell wanted Anna Nicole Smith to play Tina, the Cameron Diaz character, but she was busy, Logan, doing Naked Gun 33 1/3, the final insult. All right. Now, that's wild. She ends up being nominated for a Razzie for Worst New Star. All right. She wins that Razzie for Naked Gun 33 1/3. Meanwhile, Cameron Diaz, who has an introducing credit in this movie. This could be the pilot episode of my great podcast that I pitched years ago, and introducing.
That's right.
And
there are a lot of those, like a lot of huge ones.
I know
that are way before this one, probably.
It's an incredible premise for a podcast. Years ago, I said anyone who wants to do it.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot since then.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's a better premise than this.
That has to be a thing somebody's doing.
No one's doing it. I've checked
every day.
Every day. But Cammy Diaz gets the end introducing. And also, apparently, that character was supposed to turn out to be a heel. And when they cast Cameron Diaz, she was so likable. They were like, let's turn her out to be nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
But is this the greatest on-screen introduction of any person ever?
It's up there, honestly. I never
find me other examples. Like, if you're listening and you're like, no, this one. I would really be curious to know, because this is like a number 1 seed in a tournament. This is it's incredible. Holy shit, this is Cameron Diaz.
She was in The Mask and was immediately an enormous star. 4 years later, she headlines There's Something About Mary. She's the titular character, and it's one of the highest grossing comedies ever made.
I'm kind of talking about the initial shot of her.
Oh, you mean just like look at
Like,
this
find me a
gorgeous
better
lady?
shot
You know
of a
what?
new person in a movie.
They stop on her tits too long.
Yeah.
It's a little lascivious, if you ask me. And that's the only reason I wouldn't put it number one.
But like, what else is there? Like,
I'd
name,
have
name
to-
me
I'd
three
have-
other examples. Like, if you're seeding a tournament and you had to come up with 4 number 1 seeds, you know, I'm not sure if you'd be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Hanks and Splash. What's the opening shot of him?
There can't be better than this.
All right, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna Google best. How do you even put it?
Best first
Best-
appearances by an actor?
Best first appearances by an actor. And we'll see what the internet says.
Yeah, it's sort of a tough question to ask.
I agree. Let's see. Oh my God! Right away, Cameron. I'm just joking. It's
I wouldn't be surprised.
looks like Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours.
Yeah, that's a
seems
good
to be
one.
mentioned a lot.
In the jail cell singing, right?
Yeah, Natalie Portman in The Professional. Ed Norton in Primal Fear. Anya Taylor-Joy in The Wish. The Witch.
The Wish.
excuse me.
The Wish.
Jamie Lee in Halloween. How about Orson Welles in Citizen Kane? That was the first movie he was
Never
ever in.
saw it. That's the
And-
first. No way, really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And then
incredible.
Haley Steinfeld in True Grit. That's the list I'm seeing.
I gotta say, this is probably better than Steinfeld. Sorry to her. But I don't know.
I'm with
That's
you.
a pretty cool list, though.
Yeah. How about Alan Rickman in Die Hard?
Oh yeah, that's good.
How about Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused?
Yeah, these are good.
These are really good. Yeah.
That's his first one, Dazed and Confused. There's no way that's true.
Dude, Richard Linklater discovered him in a bar in Austin, Texas.
I've heard that, but I didn't know that was his first thing. But I heard
Yeah.
he was like an acting school, right?
He was already acting, going on auditions in acting school and stuff. Yeah. It's not like he like was plucked from complete obscurity, but
But that's the first thing.
that's his
amazing.
first like theatrically released film. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So more examples than I thought, I guess.
All right. I think that's the first time you see him in that movie. I mean, that's it. That's first ballot right there.
It's still that's still the thing he's known for. All right. He
Yeah.
says it at every award show he ever goes.
I know.
to. Yeah. That might be the best one.
I agree. I think that's it.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right.
Let's-
All right.
All right. A little bit before we get into the mask, it was actually nominated for a shit ton of awards. So
Okay.
I have like a big awards section here.
I want to say, by the way, whoever you said earlier, that's a little bit like the Mission Impossible 2 thing. The guy who missed out because he was doing...
Gray Scott.
Yeah, him.
Yeah. Could have been
Whoever
Wolverine.
you said, and whoever you
He
said
could
earlier.
be in Deadpool 3 right now.
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah. All right, so this movie had a $23 million budget. By the way, looks amazing for $23 million.
Oh, that seems like a lot of money. It seems pretty reasonable.
You think so? I don't know. It was
23
a lot of
million,
special
especially
effects.
back then. What is that now? That's like $40 million.
I mean, a Son of the Mask cost $100 million.
It looks like it. Oh, that whole movie is special effects.
I know. Yeah, I read that Industrial Light and Magic worked on this film on the special effects slogan, and they said that they told Chuck Russell that he saved $1 million when he cast Jim Carrey, just because he can do shit other actors can't.
Wow, there you go. Saved him $1
Yeah.
million. Hope they gave it to him on the back end somehow.
Probably
Here's your
not,
million
bro.
that you saved us.
Probably not, man. He was still hungry. 2 years later, though, the cable guy got $20 million for that one.
Yeah. I don't like that either, cable guy. I think he's annoying. I mean, I guess he's supposed to be, but
Yeah, he is supposed to be.
I know,
I mean,
but-
that's like saying like Roman Reigns is mean. Like that's
all
the
right.
character.
I didn't like watching it. I was like, I want to turn this off. But I did like the end. Everybody starts reading books, right? Because the cable goes out.
Oh, is that what happens? I don't remember.
Yeah, that was a great part because it was like a big at the time when it was like, oh,
you couldn't
can't
relate to
read.
that though.
Yeah, that was a big joke. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
So $23 million budget, $351.6 million at the box
Whoa.
office. Logan, this was the most profitable comic book movie of all time until Joker.
What?
Yes,
That's amazing.
I know.
Not Ghost World. They couldn't beat it.
It's not. I mean, they made like $5 million.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible.
But I thought it would have been like one of the Marvel movies just because they made so much money,
But this one
that
costs
even
so
with a
little.
big budget, like they're making a profit. But no, it was this until Joker, 2019.
Incredible.
Yeah. This came in at number 9 at the box office for 1994. Between number 10 Pulp Fiction and number 8 Speed.
Great
So this was
films.
a cultural moment. All right, here are the nominations. The Oscars.
Oscars, it's the red carpet, it's the red carpet and the gowns and the tuxes. The Oscars, it's the big night for Hollywood, the red carpet and the golden man.
Nominated it for best visual effects. It lost to Forrest Gump. Now, I remember being a kid watching the Oscars this year. I think it was the second year I watched the Oscars. And I was mad about this.
Mm-hmm.
Best visual effects. I still had that much energy in me to be mad about that. And because at the time, I didn't understand what the visual effects in Forrest Gump were. I was like, are you talking about that like CGI feather that like drops from the sky? Like that looks that good that you need to give it an Oscar. But then like I watched it again as an adult and I was like, oh, they like put him in like all these historical situations.
Yeah.
I get it. That's the visual effects they're rewarding.
Yeah, you were just like, what? The ping pong was so impressive.
No, literally, yeah, that's how I felt.
That's hilarious.
I was like, really? When the fucking shit makes a smiley face, that was good enough for them? All right. The Saturn Awards, they loved it.
Saturn is between Uranus and Neptune. Saturn, whoa, sci-fi blessed films.
It was nominated for costumes. It lost to Interview with the Vampire. It was nominated for makeup. It lost to Ed Wood. And it was nominated for Best Fantasy Film. And it lost to Forrest Gump. The BAFTAs.
The British Academy of Film, Television, and Arts. BAFTA.
Nominated for makeup and hair. And it lost to The Adventures of Priscilla, the Queen of the Desert. Production design, but it went to Interview with the Vampire, and visual effects, but they went to Forrest Gump, the fucking beautiful feather. And the Golden Globes.
It's the GGs, the Golden Globes. It's the Hollywood Foreign Press, mostly French.
The Golden Globes love Jim Carrey. That's a thing I like to talk about because they've nominated Jim Carrey like a shit ton of times, and he's won twice, and he's never once been nominated for an Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this, I think, was his first Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor in a Comedy. And he lost to Hugh Grant in Four Weddings and a Funeral. And if you've ever seen that performance, very funny. He says things like, oh, I simply couldn't.
Never saw it.
It's a good movie. The Kids' Choice Awards.
It's the Kids' Choice Awards. It's KCA to you, but it's the kids making the choice, yeah.
Awarded this film 2 awards. It got, what do they give them? A little popcorn? No, that's the MTV.
Kids.
Teen Choice, they get a surfboard. Oh, it's like a little
they slime
blimp,
'em.
right? It's like an orange little blimp.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I bet Jim Carrey's been slimed. That seems
sure.
like something he'd do.
He has a slime tank in his house, probably.
He does it.
He just like bathes in it sometimes. Was he married to Jenny McCarthy?
Yeah. He was. They were nice anti-vaccine people together.
Yes, I know about that.
Although I think by the time of the COVID vaccine, he was like pro-vaccine. So maybe that was more of a Jenny McCarthy thing.
So her and Donnie, they definitely didn't get.
Yo, Donnie, no way. You kidding me? He's got to lock down that McCarthy. He doesn't want to jeopardize that thing.
He wouldn't anyway.
Blue Bloods is ending this year. What's he going to be doing? Jenny's going to be sitting around the house. He's going to be What are you gonna do with this guy?
Meaning what? He's not gonna have money, or he's like
No, he's got plenty of money, but he's
Yeah,
got nothing
okay.
to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
What does
Jay
she do?
McCarthy really wants Donnie Wahlberg just farting around her house all day.
But what does she do? She doesn't do anything either.
She gets angry on the internet.
I haven't seen her in a
Uh,
long time, like a decade.
I see her once a year, Logan, because I
Oh,
watch
New Year's Eve.
Yeah. I watch the New Year's Eve show every year, and they always show her fucking sucking
Kissing him.
face
Yep.
with Donnie
You
Wahlberg.
love that. That's
at
your favorite
midnight.
thing.
They kiss so hard.
Yeah. You brought that up like 6 times.
Well, it's true.
You do love that.
All right, what else we got? Oh, Kids' Choice Awards gave him Best Actor. They also gave Milo Best Animal of the Year.
Love it. Milo's
Yeah.
great.
Milo is great. MTV Awards. Let's hear that theme. I want my MTV. And he doesn't think he has a funny voice.
That was
Okay,
a bullying of Henry.
Was it?
Yep.
Cameron Diaz was nominated for the Best Breakthrough Actress of the Year. Do you think she won?
Yep.
She didn't, Logan. She
She lost to
There was
Carrey.
even bigger breakthrough. Kirsten Dunst
Ooh.
in Interview with the Vampire.
All right. I'd say
Yeah.
she stood the test of time a little better.
Who's Carrey? Who do you think she
Jim
lost to?
Carrey. I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
you meant Jim Carrey.
I said breakthrough actress, I believe.
Oh, who did you?
Carrey was nominated for best comedic performance for The Mask, Logan, but unfortunately he lost. The winner was Jim Carrey for Dumb and Dumber.
Wow, was it him 3 times?
No, I don't believe Ace Ventura was in there.
Okay.
Best dance sequence. They were nominated for best dance sequence for when he dances with Jim Carrey when Jim Carrey dances
Police?
with Cameron Diaz. No, not Cuban Pete, unfortunately. It was earlier when they danced at the Coco Bongo Club.
Okay.
But that lost to the classic Uma Thurman, John Travolta dance in
of
Pulp
course.
Fiction, understandably. And Cameron Diaz was also nominated for the most desirable female.
Yeah, of course.
And but she lost to Sandra Bullock for Speed.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
if you want to give breakthrough performance to Sandra Bullock in Scream, Speed, go for it. But I mean, Cameron Diaz is pretty desirable in this film.
This is a big year. I forgot that Speed, that is a huge Sandra Bullock movie too.
1994 is
really.
enormous. 94
Yeah.
and 99 are the most
we rank it?
significant movie years.
I'm not
of
sure if
the
we've done this or
90s.
not.
We can do it if you want.
All right, I know. I see we've done the Flintstones, but that was before we ranked movies, really.
All right, let's hear yours.
All right, my number 10. We'll do this for the Lion King again. Well, I guess we won't need to do it again. But number 10, I have True Lies, James Cameron movie. Probably not on your list. Number 9, this is I think your favorite Oliver Stone movie, Natural Born Killers. But
Yeah.
9. Number 8, The Lion King. Number 7, Leon, The Professional. Number 6, Clerks. 5,
Wow.
River
I don't
of
even have
Grass.
Clerks in my top 10. That's amazing.
Really? You don't give that a 5?
I think I gave it a 4.
I give River of Grass a 4, but I put it above Clerks, which I gave a 5 to.
That's interesting because I have Clerks here at 16 and River of Grass right behind it at 17.
Yeah, I think I had them too, but I flopped them recently.
Nice.
And then top 4, Dumb and Dumber. Number 3, Speed. 2, Pulp Fiction. Number 1, I'm sorry, but shout out to Henry, The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh my god!
I love that movie.
You have Shawshank above Pulp Fiction.
I'm not a Pulp Fiction guy. Gotta be. It's like number 8 in my Tarantino rankings.
The Shawshank Redemption, ladies and gentlemen, is not a good movie. If you like it, I understand that you spent a lot of time in front of your TV after church on a Sunday with TNT on. Okay, I get that.
No,
Everyone did. Not me. I'm Jewish, but
I watched the DVD of it.
Of Shawshank.
Yep, that's the first time I ever saw it.
What's good about it?
I love the performance, both of them by both the two guys. I love the epicness of it. I love the set. I love the jail set. I love the whole library stuff, everything he does. I love when Brooks hangs himself and he writes, Brooks was here. I love when Morgan Freeman goes back to the real world, but he's
you don't find Andy Dufresne to just be a character you have absolutely no interest in spending any time with.
No, I think he's really cool. I think he's just like really sure of himself, and he knows that he's gonna get out at some point because he didn't do it. And I like the part where the guy comes in who did do it, right? Isn't that the thing? And then they kill that guy, right?
Yeah. Listen,
I
think the Green Mile is better than Shawshank.
No way.
I've got Shawshank here on my
The Mist is better.
my 1994 list at number 54.
I'll give you The Mist better, but no way I'm going Green Mile.
I'm just saying because Darabont. Yeah. All right, here's my list. A lot of things didn't quite make it that I love, like Crooklyn, Death and the Maiden, The Hudsucker Proxy, Chungking Express, The Last Seduction, Mi Vida Loca, Quiz Show, lots of good stuff. Great year. But here's my top 10. Number 10, Shallow Grave. Number 9, Natural Born Killers. Number 8, Speed. Number 7, Crumb. Number 6, Leon. Number 5, Hoop Dreams. Number 4, Ed Wood. Number 3, Three Colors Red. Number 2, Heavenly Creatures. And number 1, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, got to see Heavenly Creatures. Is Red your favorite one of the three?
Yeah.
Okay, but another shout out to the movie Baby's Day Out. Used to love that movie when I was a little kid.
I love Baby's Day Out too.
That's so funny.
Baby's Day Out's better than Shawshank.
Son of the Mask. What? Better than Shawshank?
Yeah.
I was gonna. By the way, so you like Hudsucker more than Shawshank? You prefer that, Tim?
Oh,
Tim
by
Robbins
a lot.
performance?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say any less, but all right. Great list, D-Train.
I do have Shawshank above The Mask on this list. I'll say that.
That's good. I would hope so.
No.
By the way, I love that this was nominated for a lot of best costume awards.
Yeah,
because I agree. I was like, we were like 4 scenes in, and I was like, every costume has been so good. I wanted to like keep track of like if this was like one of the better costume movies ever. I kind of gave up, but
Batman started this, where a lot of studios were making movies with these like fake Art Deco comic book cities. There was Dick Tracy around that time. The Shadow did it with Alec Baldwin. And this is one of the better examples. I think Edge City is really well rendered.
I thought you'd not like this one that much. I thought you would be upset that it wasn't Christian City.
No. I'm saying it should be Adam Copeland City. All
Yeah,
right?
we didn't know that.
Edge is breaking copyright law as far as I'm concerned. But no, I think it looks great. The production design, the costumes, that's all great. It's kind of a great movie. I'm so mixed on it because like I'm kind of only gonna give it a 3, but the problem for that is more with pacing and the fact that it doesn't really have a good villain.
Yeah,
and just
pacing starts really great. I thought.
Yeah,
like 20 minutes in, I was like, "Damn, I'm rocking."
The origin story is good, but then it's kind of all over the place. It becomes episode. It's like, oh, he's gonna be in prison now. That's fine.
Yeah, with like the whole money with the villains and like going to jail. It falls off a little bit, but I liked it. I mean, I'm not going to spoil too much, but I think it's a good movie for sure.
No, I actually thought it was better than I remembered it. I was pretty solid on a 3 going in, and you could talk me into a 4 right now.
I don't know if I will try to, but especially compared to 2, it's even better compared to that one.
Well, Son of the Mask is, I mean, even if this movie's a 3, the quality gap between these movies is as big as any fucking franchise I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. Okay, you wanna talk about the thing?
Yeah. He finds a mask, puts it on, turns into the mask.
Is that it?
Yeah, starts causing some hijinks. I want to bring up one part because I thought they could have done like they could have turned it into like a horror movie for a second, where
they were going to. That was the original plan.
Oh, because there's a guy that's in a car. He like honks at Jim Carrey when he's in mask face, and then Jim Carrey like opens his mouth and honks back at the guy, and all the glass on his car shatters. And I wanted them to like next cut to the guy and like he's like diced up, like he's.
I
Like,
did not want that at all.
I thought that would have been so awesome. Like he screamed and the glass just completely destroyed that guy.
Oh
But no,
my
it was
God.
just sitting in his car with no windows.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a comic book. They can't do this because what they're trying to do in this movie is have cartoon logic when he's the mask. So like at first we meet him, he's Stanley Ipkiss, right? He's just like a mild-mannered bank employee. His best friend is the late great stand-up comedian Richard Jenny, who shot himself in the head.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. And and he has got an annoying landlord. What's her name? It's a funny name.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Damn.
I like the part early on though with the girl. He like asks a girl to go to a concert with him, and she's like, "Oh, I have a friend. Can you get a third ticket?" And he's like, "No, but here you can have my 2 tickets." And it shows like how much of a cuck he is, basically.
That was Jolie Fisher.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I the second I said it, I realized it would mean nothing to you. But she was like Ellen's best friend on the show Ellen in the 90s.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, look at you. But he goes home, and here's what I really want to talk about is when he goes home, we see him. He's got like little statues and pillows and posters everywhere of old Looney Tunes cartoons. He's got a great Tasmanian Devil throw pillow that I sort of wanted to order. And the second he walks through the door, like first he like feeds Milo or whatever, and then he goes, grabs a VHS from out of his collection, and it's just like a best of Tex Avery cartoons, right? And he pops that on immediately, and his landlord yells over like it's too loud or whatever. But that's what it's showing. It's like this guy's id, like what he's obsessed with his entire life, and what he's invested in and what he's gonna think about in his like purest form are old Looney Tunes cartoons. All right. So when he becomes the mask, when he puts on the mask, that's who he is. He's basically a Looney Tune. So, he can like hit you over the head with a mallet and you might like flatten out and then like turn normal again, or he can like draw a tunnel and, that kind of thing. And, I like that about the movie. I wouldn't want there to be repercussions to the things he's doing. That would make it less fun.
I wanted 1 second where a guy died. That would have been good, I thought. I didn't laugh.
You see what I'm saying?
But I didn't think this movie was that funny, really. I liked it. It was creative. I liked watching it. A lot of the like movie making stuff was good. It was very well directed, I thought. I thought this guy crushed it. But I never really found it funny.
It's definitely of like the early Jim Carrey movies. I think even if this is your favorite, you have to admit it's the least funny because it's more Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura are like gag delivery systems almost. Like this movie, it's like a real movie. It's got like a story to tell, and Stanley Ipkiss is a very toned down Jim Carrey. It's like the first time we get toned down Jim Carrey ever, and even when he's the mask, it's assisted by special effects. It's not just him like making silly faces and shit.
Well, it looks like he's definitely making faces though. The mask looks very practical. I'm not really sure how they made it like look like his face. Like it looks really cool.
No, it was. He's got those big teeth in.
Yeah.
And I read that Carrey, at first the plan was to have him like do voice, like record all his lines, like not with the teeth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like dub it, like try to do it again
dub
with
it.
the teeth.
That was the plan. They were gonna dub it, and then Jim Carrey, because he's like such a weird freak, he like taught himself how to talk with the teeth.
Yeah.
And so
Now we
he's
give
just
people
able to
Oscars for that. We're like, oh, Mr. Robot, you talked with teeth. You get an Oscar. Such bullshit. Give Jim Carrey an Oscar.
Well, he should have. Jim Carrey's time for the Oscar was Truman Show or Man on the Moon, and he didn't get a nomination either time. The Oscars.
Jim Carrey's kind of like Tom Cruise in a way.
How?
With the Oscars, like he really had like 2 shots. The Oscar, they didn't really respect him, and now his time's probably over. We didn't really get what this guy was all about.
What's Jim Carrey doing now?
He had a show where he played.
I watched every episode of it, but that was like years ago at this point.
That's the last thing that I remember he did.
You're talking about Kidding, right? He was like Mr. Rogers.
Oh, I thought he played like. Did he play like Charlie Kaufman or something? Who did he play? Oh, he was in Sonic, of course. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the last thing he did. Yeah, it does seem like it's over though. Like the last time he made a movie that really could have been something was like I Love You, Philip Morris. Like after that, I mean, look, it's Mr. Popper's Penguins, it's Burt Wonderstone, it's Kick-Ass 2, it's Dumb and Dumber 2, and it's the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I mean, the guy just I don't know what's keeping him going. If I was Jim Carrey, I'd retire.
Yeah, I don't really know. I thought that he did something serious recently where he was like doing a biopic of somebody.
You're talking about Andy Kaufman, like 25
Oh,
years ago?
that's 25 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I thought he did something recently.
That movie came out in 1999, Logan.
Let me see the poster for that. Oh, maybe this was on Netflix recently, and I thought about it. I don't think that's what that was, but I mean, I think you're right.
Do you mean the documentary about him trying to be Andy Kaufman? That came out years later.
When was that? What is that called?
Jim and Andy?
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's just a documentary about the making of Man on the Moon.
Oh, okay. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah. It is good though.
All right. Anyway,
okay, so
what do you think about these other characters? Peggy Brandt.
all right, hang on. Just give me 1 second. I need to turn my air down. I'm sweltering.
Okay.
All right, you're asking about these other characters?
Yeah, Peggy Brandt. She's like the reporter, redhead reporter. Amy Yasbeck is her name. Yas Queen.
Yeah, I immediately recognized her as Toby's ex-wife from The West Wing. So that was exciting for me. But I mean, she was around a lot back in the day. She was married to John Ritter when he died. I remember that.
Okay.
And she was if we ever cover Splash, you know Splash with Tom Hanks?
Mm-hmm.
There's a sequel to that movie that went straight to video called Splash 2 TOO. And it's got none of the original stars in it, but if we ever cover that, she played the mermaid in it.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, but anyway, I like her. She's pretty good actor. I always think she has like a good presence, so I was happy to see her here.
Yeah, I thought she was good too. She hasn't really done too much. She's done a few, like one episode of a lot of shows. She was in one episode of Bones.
Yeah,
have you seen that one?
I've seen every episode of Bones.
In 2013, she was in season 8, episode 11, The Archaeologist in the Cocoon.
Definitely seen it.
All right.
Yeah, and her boss in this was played by the guy who plays Ryder Strong's dad on Boy Meets World.
That 100% Slinky Dog, right?
Yeah, Slinky Dog.
New replacement Slinky
New
Dog.
Slinky Dog, yes.
Yeah, that was awesome. He's in like literally he has one line, I think. He's in like one scene, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but you're like, look at him. There he is.
Yeah, we'll get to Ryder Strong a little later.
I'm sure we will. So what else? What are the other characters?
Oh,
The problem is the villains. Here, that's a real problem, I think. There's like a big boss and then a smaller boss. The smaller boss is the one who's supposed to be like our main villain because he's the one that like wants to fuck Cameron Diaz, I guess. And like, I don't know. To me, they're both pretty generic. I know he's in like Pulp Fiction or something. He was having a moment around that time, but doesn't really do it for me.
yeah, me either. So I hate to do like on the Buffy episode, we just talked about how the Angel episode was like a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, how there were like 3 different sides. And this movie is kind of like that. We have like the Carrey side, and then we have like the bad guys, but then we have like like the bad guy answers to like another guy, but then there's also the cops
Yeah.
that are after them. Like there's a lot happening. There.
You're able to follow it though. You know, you always know why everyone is looking for stuff.
But it's definitely the weak part, like the bad guys.
The bad guys is the weak part. I definitely prefer the cops. I like Peter Riegert, who plays like the main cop.
Yeah.
And you know, there's just little bits. Like I love him. Okay. So when he first wakes up after his first night as the mask, and Peter Riegert's like knocking on his door, and all that money falls out of his closet, he's trying to push it back in. I really like that stuff. And then later on, when Riegert finds the piece of his pajamas at the crime scene that like he thought that had been the tie, but when it was ripped off, it became his pajamas because of the magical spell of the mask. I don't know. That's pretty good. Here's something I didn't remember. Do you remember that the mask takes place in the MCU?
No. What happened?
What about that? It's Loki's mask.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's not get into that yet. Or is that in this movie?
That's in this movie. They bring up Loki.
Oh yeah, the God of Mischief they talk about.
Yeah, that we go to see Ben Stein because he's written a book about masks. Ben Stein's a completely insufferable person. I am like, he should have like been in Ferris Bueller and then died the next day.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I can't take that guy. I heard him on a radio show. It was pre-podcast. Look, I was listening to terrestrial radio, and I heard an interview with Ben Stein, and they asked him. It was like, "What would you do?" Something like that, and he reacted to them like they said, "What would you do?" And like he like yelled at them like they were being anti-Semitic to him, and then he hung up. Interview over.
Yeah,
I'll always remember that. It's like one of the lamest things I've ever heard on radio.
One time I heard a story. There was never mind. I'm gonna forget how to tell it. Something about somebody mixed up like they thought somebody was saying Jew Holiday, but they were saying Drew Holiday. He's a basketball player, and like really upset somebody. They would said like I hate Drew Holiday, but they said like I hate Jew holidays or something. and somebody like I forget what happened. But
well, everybody hates Jew holidays this year. No one's lighting the menorah because they're afraid of hate crimes. You know,
you will, right?
Yeah, I will. But like, I mean, it's pretty fucked up. Like, that's not something we'd ever. It's not like if there was a big fucking Christian holy war going on, we wouldn't light the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. What I'm telling you right now is the world fucking hates Jewish people so fucking much, and it's hard for me. Okay,
but people are lighting it within their own homes, right?
Yeah, Jews are, but like
there's not like a big one though that we light like for the world, is there?
Fuck
like
you. Every town on the East Coast, if you go to the town square, there's a big Christmas tree, big menorah.
Okay, but they're not doing that.
Not anymore.
Damn, that's tough. I'm sorry.
Because everyone's been radicalized by Hamas.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know. He gets like arrested.
Oh, Ben Stein, right.
Oh, yeah.
So he's the only one that's in this movie and the next movie.
Yep. Otis. I have serious questions.
And not only that, I'm not done with Ben Stein. For fuck's sake. I watched the cartoon of The Mask, Logan. There was a cartoon of The Mask and a cartoon of Ace Ventura, okay? And they crossed over. So sometimes it would be like Ace Ventura and The Mask together, and neither one of them would be Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he'd be like, do not go in there. It's smoking. Right?
It really would be like that. Yes.
Yeah.
And oh my God, that Mask cartoon, every episode, smoking, somebody stop me. To the point where like I always thought of those as like catchphrases and shit, but he only says them once each in this movie. They're just lines in the movie that are memorable.
Yeah, in the next movie, the dog says, smoking.
I wanted to kill myself. I legitimately, after the dog said smoking, I took out a straight razor and stared at my wrist for 10 minutes.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do it.
Yeah. I didn't go through with it. But Oh, but what I wanted to say is that Ben Stein was in the Mask cartoon. He's the only
Oh my God.
the only actor from this movie to be in the cartoon. So I don't understand. Like, I never think about Ben Stein when I think about the Mask, but he's the only actor to be in both movies and the cartoon.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Anyway, Loki. I'm so excited to get to the next movie. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, Milo is like a huge part of this movie. I like early on they set up. He's like, no jumping up on me, Milo. But then
Yeah.
later, big moment where he jumps into the jail cell and helps him out.
Great stuff.
Milo,
And-
possible MVP of the movie.
I agree. And Milo gets the mask on at one point. He's dog mask. And that was such a hit, Logan, that on that cartoon, I'm telling you that dog they'd find a way to get that mask on that dog once per episode.
Of course. Yeah. We
Yeah.
have to. That's good.
But Milo is great. He's very adorable. And I mean, what do you say? He's a fucking cute dog, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Great dog, great actor. Love all the shots of him. Like, I love the part where Jim Carrey gets taken in a car and we see the shot of Otis like up on the ledge of the window looking out. You remember that? That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I just thought about them trying to get those shots of like, come over here. Look down, look at this. That was great. Everything. I think Otis is my MVP. Everything with Otis was so good.
They tried too hard to like
Or Milo. I called him Otis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that's it in the next one. But they tried so hard to make that to like recapture the magic of Milo in the sequel. I thought like they got another dog named Otis, and it's the exact same kind of dog, right?
Yeah. Probably same
So
actor, dog.
just
Probably not.
randomly, these two people that ended up with the mask both owned dogs that were the same. And here's what pisses me off, because the director of the sequel directed the movie Cats and Dogs, Logan. All right. And I've always hated that movie because I'm a cat guy. All right. And the cats are treated like villains in that movie.
Really?
And now here's this motherfucker again directing another movie with animals in it. And again, he's chosen a dog to be the hero. There's no cats to be found in this movie.
But
Why
there's no
can't
cat
Jamie
villains.
Kennedy Jamie Kennedy could have a cat?
Yeah, that would be good.
What's wrong with that?
The next movie did kind of remind me of Garfield, like the push and pull between. Isn't the dog's name Otis in that too? Odie, maybe. I forget.
Yeah.
But it's like that Garfield is the cat, and the dog. You know, they're trying to who's fighting for attention. You know.
I mean, that movie's a nightmare because so much of it is just Jamie Kennedy running after a baby and a dog. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the next one. A few more parts in this one. I like the part where he drinks. By the way, it's named Stanley Ipkiss only for all the jokes about like so many lines where it's like kiss, where like mention his last name.
I have no idea.
There are like two lines where like at the end she says Ip kiss and then they kiss and then there's another line where they like make fun of him or something.
I don't know if that name is taken from the comic or not.
Oh yeah, good point. But I like when he drinks orange juice and it comes out of all the bullet holes in his body. That's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
That's good. I like anytime he like puts on a little outfit or something. Like I mean, the Cuban Pete thing is a classic, right? People still. I remember kids on the playground singing Cuban Pete all the time. Okay, and fucking. I sort of like how he's like Pepe Le Pew before that. He like is a French guy and he's really horny and stuff. I find that really charming.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Anytime he did a little mask character, it was good. Or like when he when he's watching Tina for the first time in the Coco Bongo Club and his face turns into a cartoon dog.
I guess so.
I like that too.
He should do more of that though. He should do more characters. He should be more like Fletch, I think. try to like get one over on people and just like play tricks with like costumes and stuff instead of like doing cartoons.
Yeah, the thing is, well, I mean, the cartoon thing is built in. If you're not into that, then you're not
I just
into
didn't
the
find
movie.
it funny. Yeah,
that's fine. But the other thing he does, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
He swallows a bomb at the end. That was cool. And then it blows
Yeah.
up like inside him, but nothing happens because he's like a cartoon character.
Yeah, I guess so. Here, one thing that was happening during this movie, it's the very beginnings of the swing revival. Okay, it would take another year for this to like really go mainstream to the point where like they were playing swing music in Gap commercials and shit. But like the swing revival was starting to happen. If you like went out to clubs in Los Angeles, especially on the West Coast, like they were playing swing music. There would be big bands. I mean, you go back and watch Swingers from like a year and a half later, it that is really capturing what was going on here. And so I think that's really the character the Mask is playing. Like aside from all the cartoon stuff, he's kind of just a swinging hipster.
Yeah, that's a good call. I got that vibe also.
He's doing swing dancing with Cameron Diaz. He like at one point he touches a drummer on the stage and like turns them into like a big band swing drummer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's very interesting. It's kind of a moment in time.
Yeah.
Like to me, I can't even defend it because it has nothing to do with anything and it doesn't really fit in the movie, to be honest. But it's such a time capsule of a specific time in my life that I remember that I like forgive it.
No, I like it, and it's not a time that I find like annoying at all, you know.
What's a time you find annoying?
I don't know. Well, we talked recently about like the movies that are like the horror movies that feel like they have to say something. Like if like a lot of movies are made like you can tell when they're made, and even though you can tell when this was made, I'm not like annoyed by that at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because you can only tell the way it's made, like aesthetically. Movies now, like you can see what they're talking about. You know, even good movies. Like I like that movie, The Assistant by Kitty Green. That's sort of Julia Garner going through like a Me Too situation. But you like watch that and you're like, oh, I know the month that this was made.
Yeah, it's almost like nobody has any individual things that they want to say anymore, and everyone's just like saying what everyone is already saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, this is what we're talking about, so now I have to say it instead of anyone having their own individual voice about it.
The big argument now is that people need to say things now that people weren't allowed to say before. Okay, and that's fine. That's fine. But not everyone needs to say that. So surely someone has to have something unique to say about it. I actually thought Kitty Green followed up that movie, The Assistant, really well with that new movie, The Royal Hotel. I found that had some more compelling points about sort of feminism and harassment that I hadn't seen before and things. You know, I want my thoughts to be provoked rather than me to watch a movie and just be like, yeah, I agree.
People, they probably think they have something unique to say, though, but they don't. Nobody probably thinks they're saying something that's redundant. They're like, "Oh, this is going to be what everyone's saying." They're
No, but
like, "Oh, this is unique."
But
cool.
but that's just because they're stupid and they haven't watched enough movies. Like,
yeah,
you know,
people... Promising Young Woman. Did you like that movie?
Until the third act.
Oh yeah, I forgot you. I feel like I kind of like the end of the movie.
Oh, it's terrible ending. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it though. That's all fair. But freeze frame ending, kiss.
Yep, kiss.
Yeah, exactly. That was nice. I thought you liked freeze frame endings. So
I do. I like a freeze frame ending. I was pretty happy with this movie, to be honest. Like it's fun to watch. The special effects really hold up. I think the score is really good.
Yeah, that's a good call.
The thing is, it does everything right and well, but nothing really spectacularly. So like I have a hard time like really speaking so glowingly about it to the point where I'm going to give it a 4 or a 5 or something. But like, I want to say it's a 3, but this is a really this was a satisfying rewatch, and it made me think I'll watch it more at some point in my life.
I agree. If you'd asked me how many times I've seen this, I probably would have said one time, and I would have just given it a 3. And I'm gonna stick with a 3. I think it's actually really well directed. That's probably my favorite part of the movie is the direction, a lot of great camera work here. And there was a shot. I don't, it might be the second movie where someone. I think it's in the first movie where Jim Carrey is like hiding under a plant, and then we see the camera from the camera's. It's like Jim Carrey POV, and we see like the plant dangling in front of the camera. Like this guy was really good. Like at every turn, I feel like he knew exactly what to do with the camera. But I didn't think it was that funny. And that's probably my biggest problem with it. But I like the story. I like the characters. I like the. It feels like a real movie. I like all the sets and costumes.
It is a real movie, man.
Yeah, but I can't go over a 3, so I'm gonna go 3 also.
It reminds me of Dick Tracy. I have some of the same problems with Dick Tracy.
But you really like that one. You'd give that a 4, right?
The production design is like even more amazing in that like pushes it to the next level. But story wise, like it's about even with those.
Okay. All right. My MVP. I'll go Cameron Diaz, but Milo close second.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go Jim Carrey.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You loved him. He was so big for you.
He was. And who's your LVP?
Ben Stein.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna go with Peter Green, the villain.
Really? I kind of liked the actor. I thought he was cool.
He's all right. But you get a better villain. Listen, there's like a black henchman among the villains. That's Reggie Cathy, who was later in The Wire and House of Cards. And I was like, just let him be the villain.
Yeah, I remembered him too. He was really cool. I see he plays Freeze, a guy named Freeze.
Yeah, great name too.
Yeah. But all right. So Ryder Strong. He gives it a half star.
Oh my god. Get out of here, it's Strong.
But does he hate his dad from Boy Meets World, so he gives all his movies a half star?
Oh my god, that didn't even occur to me.
It made me think. Because why? This is a good movie. Why would you give it a half star? But
I don't know. It came out in 1994. He was already on Boy Meets World. Maybe he auditioned.
For what?
The dog.
Yeah, I don't know. But I thought that was odd. A half star for The Mask.
Listen, some people don't like it. I see Justin Holcomb, our listener, gave it a 2.
But this is a half star.
I know, a half star is like, that shit is worthless.
Yeah, that's like you'd give like 30 movies ever a half star. Maybe.
I've never given a half star. I don't believe
Of course, but if we did, we'd probably only drop 30 of them to a half star.
You want to hear some other celebs takes?
Oh yeah, of course. Who do we got? Ebert, Rachel Sennott, Ayo Edebiri. Who do we got?
Jim Beaver has logged it. He's an actor.
Okay.
We've got Griffin Newman. He's logged it.
All right. What do they give it though?
Nothing. They didn't grade it.
Okay.
We've got Paul Rust. He gave it 3 stars.
Okay. You follow Tim Simons? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Let's see who else. We got Mike Flanagan. He's seen it. No grade.
Mike Flanagan. Wow.
You don't follow Mike Flanagan?
No.
He's made top 10 lists for every year. It's amazing.
That is amazing. I'm gonna follow him right now.
I gotta say, his taste not that great.
Whoa. I see him. His in his top 4, Shawshank. So you automatically hate that.
Ridiculous. And then Henry gave it a 3. He's our other celebrity.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're talking about Hank Beast, or you're talking about Aussie Scott?
Hank Beast.
Okay. All right. I'm ready for Son of the Mask.
I am ready as well. So this movie comes out so many years later. It was in development, though, for a while, to the point they were so confident they were going to make a sequel to this with Jim Carrey that they held a contest in the magazine Nintendo Power. You familiar with Nintendo Power?
I've heard of that, yeah.
Now, Nintendo had put out a Super Nintendo The Mask game, okay? So they had the Mask license. So in Nintendo Power magazine, they announced a contest, and the winner would get a walk-on role in The Mask 2 starring Jim Carrey, okay? Now, it wasn't in active development at that point, so apparently Nintendo Power gave the winner a choice. Either you could take the walk-on role in The Mask 2, or you get a bunch of prizes. This dude took the prizes. Genius. You know, I mean, that was the way to go. Absolutely. He ended up with $5,000 and a bunch of video game systems and shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They did
not
something
bad.
similar for Saw 4, 5, 6. One of those Saws. One of the openings. It's like you have to cut off who can cut off the most flesh. And
I
the
remember
woman who
that.
survives that, it's a black woman. She won a contest, and she ends up coming back in the 7th movie. They're having like a gathering of all the people who have survived his traps.
Yeah,
And
I
she's there.
remember that.
So like she won a contest, and she got to come in 2 movies. It's really cool.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Cool
so
stuff.
she made the right choice by taking the cameo.
Yeah, but here he would have never shown up again. So
Absolutely.
he took the right choice.
They offered Jim Carrey a Mask sequel. They offered him $10 million, and he was like, "Listen, the cable guy is offering me double that. I'm doing that." Also, apparently, he said he had, like, on the set of Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, he said he was really bored. Like, he can't like get himself worked up about anything if it's not like a new character.
That's
So
cool.
like, he was like, I'm not gonna do any more sequels. Eventually, he like, out of desperation, did Dumb and Dumber 2. But for a long time, that was his only sequel.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is that like
Uh,
Sandler? Sandler, I think he only did for a while. Grown Ups 2 was like his
That's
first
right.
sequel he ever did.
That's right.
Then he
doesn't
did Murder
fuck with
Mystery.
that. Yeah, I think he's more open to it these days.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Netflix has like fucking such deep pockets. I feel like they can go to Adam Sandler and be like, here's $60 million if you can make another murder mystery. Like, that's fine. Like, whatever, however you use it, it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So then they start developing a different movie, Son of the Mask. This is in like the late 90s now, early aughts. Okay. And they offered it to Jack Black after High Fidelity, you know, around Shallow Hal, that period. He turned it down. And they offered it to Ryan Reynolds. Logan, this could have been the big break for Ryan Reynolds.
I gotta
and he
say,
turned it
that kind
down.
of sounds good.
It would have been better than this.
It would have been better than Jack Black also. I think
No,
a
it
Jack Black
wouldn't
mask
have.
movie sounds
No.
so annoying.
Oh my God. You think a Jack Black mask movie would be more annoying than a Ryan Reynolds mask movie? The Ryan
Especially at that
Reynolds
point,
mask,
yes.
he would just be fucking snarking at you.
But
it would just be snark, snark, snark. At least Jack Black, his mask would probably stop a couple times and sing a song.
I knew you were gonna say that. But I think Ryan Reynolds being like the relatable young dad would have been good. Especially when he's that young.
Yeah, but I don't know that was the plan with Jack Black. Like, they were both offered this movie. I assume, like, if either of them got cast, they would have rewritten the movie around them the same way they did for Jim Carrey in the first one.
Okay, that's fair. I guess I'm just putting them into this movie.
Yeah. No, I don't think Jack Black would work in this movie. But I think, like, Jack Black is, like, say, like a stoner layabout without a job who, like, finds the mask on the street or something. That'd be all right.
In a pot field, he finds the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. Or he steals it from his drug dealer's wall.
That's good too.
Yeah. Okay. This finally comes out in February 18th, 2005. I have skipped it.
Yeah.
I ended up seeing most of it on TV once, but not really. It cost $100 million to make, and it made $59.9 million. The box office came in at number 125. That's a far cry from number 9.
A little bit.
Between The Devil's Rejects, which was low budget, and Rebound, which was Martin Lawrence teaching basketball to kids. This was directed by a fella named Lawrence Guterman, whose real only other credit is Cats and Dogs, and written by a fella named Lance Kaze. Lance, and I've got really nothing about this guy. Like he was like writing for talk shows around this time. I don't know how he got the gig. He wrote for some cartoons. That's probably how he got it. But I mean, since then he's gone on to nothing. I think he works with like Theo Von now.
Oh my gosh, what doing what?
Yeah.
Theo Von does like a podcast.
Do you think Theo Von writes his own jokes?
Oh, that's what he does for him. He writes his jokes.
I would argue Theo Von writes 30% of his own jokes.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. Anyway.
You know that? Can I tell you something I learned the other day? Are you familiar with the comedian Matt Rife? You know who that is?
Yeah.
Did you know he was like a Real World guy?
Oh no, I didn't. What season?
I have to look it up.
Was he ever on the challenge?
Maybe not a real. He was like, oh, sorry. He was on. So this is what he did. He was on the challenge Champs versus Stars. That's what I was. He was on Wild and Out, and then they put him on Champs versus Stars. So that's what I was thinking of. He was on the challenge. He was on one season of the challenge, Champs versus Stars.
But I never watched those seasons.
Me either.
So let me tell you a fun fact. Lawrence,
but I didn't know he was like a Theo Von. He was like on the challenge, and then he went into comedy.
Yeah, that's a thing that's starting to happen with reality stars going into comedy, and people will tell you that they're funny, and they're not.
Yeah, I don't really get
I've
it.
listened to both Theo Von and Matt Rife, and they are not funny. I've also checked out Katie Thurston's comedy. She was a former Bachelorette, Logan, and she's gone into stand-up comedy, and she's aggressively unfunny.
Wow. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Anyway, so one thing about this movie that I like, Lawrence Guterman, the director, and Lance Kaze, the writer, both graduated from Harvard University, Logan. So I want you to remember, if you ever hear someone graduate from Harvard, that doesn't guarantee they're smart.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes they go on to direct Son of the Mask.
Well, you can be smart and just be a bad movie director.
Not this bad.
All right. Fair enough.
Okay. So awards. You want to hear the awards? They're just Razzies.
It's the raspberries, no razzmatazz. Well, all we're lacking is a little pizzazz, 'cause it's the golden raspberries. It's the worst of the worst, not the best of the best. It's pizzazz gone raz.
Jamie Kennedy nominated for worst actor of the year.
Too bad.
But he lost to Rob Schneider for Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo. Now, we've never done Deuce Bigalow on the show, have we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. That was like around when we did like Paul Blart and Hot Tub Time Machine. We did so many comedies in a row.
Here's something I came up with recently, though. What if Deuce Bigalow, the first one should have been called Deuce Bigalow, right? And then the second one should have been Bigelow Deuce.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's great. They didn't know.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. We should
just came up with that this morning.
I'll be Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, you can be Deuce. I'll be the
Oded Fair.
No, the really tall lady who's like dressed like a dude. I mean, who's like played by a dude.
What?
I don't know.
You're gonna be the one with like that had the penis nose.
I could be the penis.
Is that franchise or was that?
Yeah, or I could be the his pimp, played by like Eddie Griffin, who hangs around the hot tub.
Yeah, absolutely. He keeps dropping his food in the hot tub, right?
That's right. That's funny, right?
Oh, well, whatever. I remember you thought that was funny. You were like, "What about the funny scene where you dropped the food in the hot tub?"
Yeah. See, I still find it funny.
You do, yeah.
Okay. So that's that. Worst director. Lawrence Guterman was nominated. He lost to John Asher for a film called Dirty Love. That's that one's straight to video. I think it's a Jenny McCarthy vehicle, Logan. And I watched it when I worked at Blockbuster. It was recommended to me by someone that worked with me at Blockbuster, and it was after I watched that movie on video that I realized, oh, the people I work with are retarded.
Oh.
Sorry.
This was Henry, right?
No,
Richard
no. That was at Barnes and Noble. This was at Blockbuster.
Right. You'd think
This
they
was-
would know movie taste.
You'd think. I worked with this one woman. Her name was Sherry. And she was very nice. But the only two movies she ever recommended to me were Dirty Love and Daddy Daycare.
It is weird though, because as you know, I worked in a movie theater recently. I talked to a guy for a little while. We were talking about our favorite movies, and he was like, "My favorite movie ever." He was like my age. He was like, "My favorite movie ever, Ready Player One." Come on, man.
I just remembered something else about her. She also loved the straight to video Scooby Doo cartoons. She was always putting on like Scooby Doo in Cyber Chase.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, or The Mummy's Ghost or something like that.
They
so
have
I
like wrestling Scooby Doo, don't they?
I know, and unfortunately, she never put that one on. But I've
Oh.
seen a lot of Scooby Doo little straight to video movies just from working with her.
Yeah, Scooby Doo
Uh,
met Batman before, right? Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
that I think I've seen, and yeah, I definitely have. And Adam West and Burt Ward from the original live action Batman TV show did the voices of Batman and Robin.
That's really cool.
It was cool. Worst screenplay. Oh,
Mhm.
actually, it wasn't nominated for that. Worst picture. Dirty Love beat it, and worst screen couple. I think it was like Jamie Kennedy and whoever shares the screen with him. It was so stupid. That lost to Will Ferrell and Nicole Kidman in Bewitched. It was nominated for screenplay. It lost to Dirty Love. Alan Cumming and Bob Hoskins both nominated for worst supporting actor.
Who's Bob Hoskins?
Bob
Odin?
Hoskins plays Odin.
Oh
yeah,
wow, I didn't notice that.
a lot of makeup. It's such a waste of Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
And they both lost to Hayden Christensen for Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the
Yeah.
Sith.
That's too bad. That's my favorite one of him.
I know.
Well, I guess he's
but-
only in two.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he is only in 2. Yeah, and that performance is better than Attack of the Clones.
Oh, by miles. He's pretty good in that one.
Yeah. He's a bad actor, though.
For sure.
For sure.
But he's
And it did win a Razzie. It won Worst Remake or Sequel.
yeah, good.
All right. Let's talk
Have we done this
about
year, by
it.
the way? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I'm not seeing anything
2005?
that's like a franchise from. I mean, we did Deuce Bigelow and Miss Congeniality, but those were a long time ago.
Let's do it. Who cares?
All right. So my 10, Cachet. That's like the remake. I think there's like 2 versions. Michael Haneke made. Did he do both of them?
That's Funny Games, first of all, not Cachet.
Oh, sorry. Well, this is Cachet. I guess I'm
Okay.
just thinking that he. So there's only one Cachet.
Yes.
Sorry. Number 9, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Number 8, The Descent. Number 7, that's a franchise we'll do one day. Number 7, this will be higher on your list. The Squid and the Whale. Your
Yeah.
favorite of that guy, I think. Number
Mhm.
6, A History of Violence. Number 5, 2 Spielbergs in a row here. Number 5, War of the Worlds. Number 4, Munich. People
They're
talk
both-
about 93. That's an
Yeah.
impressive year too.
They're both right outside of my top 10, unfortunately.
That's pretty great though.
Yeah.
Number 3, documentary Tim suggested to me this year, Grizzly Man. Great movie.
Yeah. I thought that might be 1. I remember how into it you were.
Yeah. Number 2 and number 1, these are all timers. Number 2, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And number 1, Brokeback Mountain. Tough to beat that one.
Yeah, it is. Okay, here's my top 10, gang. And I like a lot of shit from this year that's not on this list too. Like fucking the ones you said, Hustle and Flow, fucking Mutual Appreciation, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. All right, but anyway, here's the top 10. Number 10, June Bug. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Cyber Seduction, His Secret Life. As well.
Yes,
Another great
of
film
course.
from 2005.
And Sky High.
Great job. Yes. All right. Number 10, June Bug. Number 9, The Puffy Chair. Number 8, Good Night and Good Luck, a movie Logan gave a 3 to. Number 7, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Number 6, Grizzly Man. Number 5, Match Point.
Yeah.
Number 4, A History of Violence. Number 3, The Devil and Daniel Johnston.
Oh my goodness, that's not on my list.
Oh, you got to add that. Yeah, I made you watch that this
Yeah,
year.
what the hell?
Number 2, Brokeback Mountain. And number 1, The Squid and the Whale.
Yeah, that's a great list. Devil and Daniel Johnston, that would be like between History of Violence and Squid and the Whale, probably.
Oh, so what's your 10? What's getting Cachet getting popped off?
Cachet is out. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang's number 10.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the movie, I guess.
Yeah, it opens like X-Men 2. First thing I want to say.
How so?
It's Alan Cumming in a trench coat on a tour doing villain shit.
Yeah. It is a lot like X-Men.
It's X2. It's fucking crazy.
You know what the craziest thing about Alan Cumming in this movie is?
What?
He's playing Loki, right?
Yeah.
He's Loki.
Yep.
And they're forcing him to do an American accent.
Yeah. What should he be doing? A Norse accent?
No, just let him
Asgardian?
use his normal accent. Like Loki in fiction has historically been coded to be British, like to have some sort of European accent. Okay, so like Alan Cumming, he's already Scottish. If he played Loki as Scottish in Son of the Mask, no one would bat an eye. But I'm spending the entire movie just thinking about why he's doing an American accent.
Yeah, it never really even crossed my mind, to be honest. But it's a good point. Yeah.
Thank you. There's another weird thing like that in this movie, like Cal Penn. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Okay. So Cal Penn is playing a character named Jorge. All right. So I assumed he was playing, like, because back then it didn't matter if you were brown, you could play whatever. So like, fucking, I thought they were casting him as like a Mexican guy, and he was gonna be. But then he plays the whole part with a fake Indian accent.
Yep.
So why is there a man named Jorge with an Indian accent?
And Cal Penn has he's like from California or something, probably. He has like a
Oh,
normal
yeah.
accent.
No. Back then, they used to make him do this shit all the time. He's got an accent in Van Wilder, too, right?
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, that was wild to me, but pretty funny, I guess.
There's just let literally everybody in this movie use their own voice. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, move on. So
it opens like X2. He does like the thing.
It opens like he's looking for his mask, and you can't find the real one. The one in the museum's a replica, right? And Ben Stein's there. That he's there to deliver lots of exposition about Loki having had the mask and Odin being his dad, and he's got brothers, one of which is Thor. By the way, Alan Cumming would have been a good Loki in the MCU.
I agree. Yeah.
Like maybe even better than this dude.
What do you mean, Tom Hiddleston?
Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, I tried to watch the new season of Loki. It's only 6 episodes. And I've been 2 episodes deep for about 3 weeks now. I never want to put this thing on.
But maybe he's gotten bad, but he's great in the Avengers.
Yeah, no, he's really good. I just, now that he's the star,
That's fair.
just don't have any interest in following him.
But you
like
think
he's great as a villain? Yeah, Alan. Listen, if they fucking, like it totally divorced from the MCU. If they announced a show right now, hey, Amazon Prime is launching a new show, Alan Cumming, he's playing a trickster god, I'd watch that.
But does that mean Tom Hiddleston would host The Traitors?
No, he could just have fake relationships with Taylor Swift if he wants.
That was a long time ago. That was like 6 years ago.
I'll tell you, we don't need Tom Hiddleston. We have Alan Cumming.
Can you name one other thing Tom Hiddleston's done? I mean,
No.
Kong Skull Island and Crimson Peak. That's it. That's all I can think of.
You want to hear his top 4 on IMDb?
It has to all be MCU.
You ready?
Yeah.
The Avengers, Thor, Thor: The Dark World, Thor: Ragnarok.
Yeah. I would have guessed Loki instead of Thor Ragnarok, but of course, yeah.
I mean, this motherfucker, he can't. The last legitimate thing he did was the AMC miniseries, The Night Manager. That was back in 2016. Since then, he's just fucking playing Loki and shit.
Yeah. He's worse than like Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
I mean, look at
Cumberbatch
this.
way more than
In
Hiddleston.
2015, there was a biopic about the great country singer Hank Williams. You remember that?
I
Do you
know
remember
Hank
that?
Williams.
Do you know that Tom Hiddleston played him in a biopic?
No, didn't know that.
Neither did I. You know why? No one fucking could give a shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
As far as I'm concerned, listen, I'm looking back at Tom Hiddleston's career right now, and there's a time I was all right with him. He played F. Scott Fitzgerald in Midnight in Paris. He's really good in that movie. But like, I think everyone that didn't die in Avengers Endgame is now having their legacy and careers actively hurt by the MCU.
Well, Chris Evans, technically, I mean, he didn't die, but he's out, but he hasn't done anything that's been of substance, really, aside from Knives Out.
Here's the thing that we never wanted to admit about Chris Evans. He's not a good actor.
But he used to be like, I used to love Chris Evans, like Scott Pilgrim and Fantastic Four. I used to like.
I didn't like him in those.
No, he was like, I used to.
When he was cast as Captain America, I was like, that guy. And when I saw Captain America, the first Avenger in theaters, I was like, that guy. It really wasn't until The Avengers that I was like, all right, he's got it now.
Well, he definitely got better with the role as it went on.
Yeah.
But you're casting Captain America. Who else would you pick? I think he's a great Captain America.
I used to want John Hamm to play Captain America.
John Hamm, Captain America. I can see that.
He'd have been good.
Chris Evans wouldn't be able to do Fletch. I'll tell you that much. If
That's
John Hamm
right.
was Captain America, there's no way.
No. One guy's got range. One guy knows how to play Captain America through trial.
I mean, that's
and error.
fair. I'm not really not gonna fight you on that.
I mean, whose career is being pepped up? I mean, Brie Larson, she's a laughing stock now, and she was an Oscar winner a couple years ago. I mean, it's out of control right now.
Yeah,
Paul Rudd. I mean, the MCU was the only thing to get the world not to like Paul Rudd.
Really? I thought Ghostbusters did that. The new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but I don't think he took the blame.
No, but I feel like we definitely talked about it.
Okay,
How
but I
lame he
mean,
was.
that movie made a ton of money.
Yeah, I like Paul Rudd in those movies. He's best part of the new one too. He's the only part I liked in the new one.
The new what?
The new Ant-Man movie. Even Catherine Newton I didn't like in the new Ant-Man movie, and I love her.
That was kind of the writing more than anything else, though.
No, you're right. You are right. That movie, I think that's the worst Marvel movie.
They should have kept fucking Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret girl.
Oh, you're right. And they
I guess they didn't.
Twice, actually.
They didn't because of the blip, right? Because it's 5.
Yeah,
everything has to be 5 years later in Marvel. I think the blip ruined it. I'll tell you what. As good as Avengers Endgame is what killed the MCU.
No. But that's the point. The Avengers Endgame should have killed the MCU.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like that's a logical end to the MCU. But I mean, Marvel comics have been thriving since 1960. Why are we talking about Marvel? Since 1962. Okay.
Loki.
And like you just make movies regularly. I mean, you make the comics keep coming out. Some of them are great, some of them are bad, but they keep coming out, and you get a sense of the world. Like there's a way to keep these properties going in fucking perpetuity, and they've murdered it within 10 years.
Yeah. And back to like where there aren't any actors who have been elevated from the MCU. I don't think. Aside, well, I guess Robert Downey. But he hasn't done. Well, I guess the answer is Robert Downey Jr. He's about to win best.
The last one was Hemsworth. You think Robert Downey Jr. is about to win an Oscar? For putting on a fucking bald cap.
From everything I've seen, it's like leading to him winning support. Who else is going to win? I wanted Gosling to win for a while, but that's not going to happen. I think it's going to be Robert Downey Jr.
I think.
But I think it's helping these young actors.
It doesn't matter. I don't watch the Oscars anymore.
It's helping the young actors, though. I think the new girl who was in the Marvels, she's going to have a big career because she was in the Marvels. Haley
I don't think so.
Steinfeld.
But where are the roles coming from other than Marvel? It doesn't seem like Marvel is leading to other roles. I've yet to see Iman Vellani in anything but
she has
Marvel
a movie in
stuff.
Theaters right now. Her movie is literally in theaters.
What about that girl Zoshidal? You know who I'm talking about? Gomez or something?
Who's that?
She was in a Marvel thing, and I thought she was good, and then I never saw her in anything ever again.
Was she in
here.
like Captain America's show?
She was in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Logan. And that is still her last credit on IMDb.
Yeah. If we weren't on a podcast, if I wasn't like trying
And
to
you know
think
what her
about
next credit on IMDb is?
another Marvel thing.
Avengers Secret Wars in 2027.
Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, you're right. There has to be some examples, but I don't want to think about it.
All right, anyway, Son of the Mask. So it's like it doesn't take place in Edge City. We like first start in Edge City, and then we go down south, and they're like, we're in a different city. It's Fringe City, and this one looks suburban. And that annoyed me too, because I was like, if we're gonna do suburbia, it should just be like a suburb of Edge City, right? Why do we need to be like downstate in a different city that looks like a suburban town?
Well, all of Edge City, they decided they're all going to look the same. This is like we're going for something different here.
But it's a suburb.
But there's
That's
not
a
like
city.
But all of Edge City there's not like a suburb of the city, Edge City, you know? You have
There's
to
a
go
suburb
outside
of every. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what this should be.
Oh, that's not what this is? How far do you have to go for hit this
They
place?
said it's like 200 miles south or something.
Oh, I don't think I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Keep them close.
Yeah, and then it's like the mask turns up in like a creek bed. It's like, what? It's just been like there's some creek that runs from Edge City to 200 miles down south, and this mask has just been like floating along it.
But
until this dog grabbed it.
I mean, think about it. It's been 11 years since the last movie. I feel like if we were really close to that place, we would probably come on here and be like, so what? It's 11 years later. They tossed it in the water and now it just floated up like 2 miles down the river. How's that possible? We probably would have complained the other way.
I wouldn't have.
No, I would have. I feel like it's like the Buffy thing where I have a complaint and then you're like, well, you probably would have complained if they didn't do that. And I'm like, oh yeah. We kind of just come on here and like complain about things sometimes.
Did you like that this movie didn't have any metaphors in it?
Yeah, that's my favorite part about this franchise. No metaphors.
Yeah.
Well, I guess kind of like the mask is like, I mean, it's not really a metaphor, but it's like
Logan abhors metaphors.
It's not true. That's not true. It's just when we constantly on Buffy, we're like, what's the metaphor for this? It's a little exhausting. Well, when you have to talk about it, if I'm just watching it, no problem.
Okay.
But when you're like, it's a little exhausting.
All
Anyway.
right, walk me through what.
All right, something crazy happens. So he gets the mask, he finds the mask, puts it on, goes to a party, has a great time, comes home, fucks his wife. Gets her
Whoa,
pregnant.
Jesus Christ!
Right?
That's like half the movie already.
By the way, I looked up the wife, hadn't seen her in anything. I was like, I know this woman. I've
Are
seen
you
her before.
out of your mind? She is the girl, the titular girl from Two Guys, a Girl, in a Pizza Place. So this
I
movie
saw
could
that.
have had both Ryan Reynolds and her. Just 2/3 of the cast of Two Guys, a Girl, in a Pizza Place.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy?
Oh, he never turned into anything, unfortunately. But the pizza place eventually became Little Caesars.
Wow.
I'm just joking.
I was trying to do the slogan. What do they say?
Pizza.
Yeah, pizza. God damn it. But they have pizza. But then I was thinking of hot and ready because they have the hot and ready. That's their
Oh,
whole
that's
thing.
another thing. Damn.
Yeah, it's like you get there, it's already ready for you, right? You go in, you get the pizza.
That's the only fast food pizza I've never really eaten.
Oh, I've had them all. You never had them all?
I've had Papa J. I've had Dom's.
Pizza Hut.
I've had Pizza Hut. Are there others?
Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut. You ever have there's like I guess that's like fast food. Those are like fast food places. I don't know.
What?
I was thinking like there's like a CC's Pizza. Do you know what that is? That's like a
No.
chain, but it's like a buffet pizza place.
But are you familiar with CNC Music Factory?
No?
That was a great dance group from the 90s.
No. I gotta say, I've never been into dance groups. Have you?
Like who? Like who are you even talking about?
Well, they used to have shows where it's like competition shows. What's the best dance crew? And you have like
No, I don't give a shit about that.
there's like so many in the crew. I can never care. You know.
Yeah,
It's tough.
Listen, if I'm gonna watch a dance crew, it needs to have a storyline. You pop me in front of the screen in Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, Beat Street,
Step Up.
Step
Is that a
Up,
crew?
Crush.
I don't know.
Yep, you
Honey,
got
she's just a
served.
solo act, though, isn't she?
Yep, you got served. Crush Groove.
Bring It
There's
On.
so many great
Fired
ones.
Up. Those are kind of
Absolutely. Listen, I'm down, but you can't just pop like 7 dance crews in front of me, have them dance, and ask me to say which is the better one. You know what the answer is? I don't give a shit.
Or you ever watch like America's Got Talent, and it's like, oh, this is the time where we're gonna spend 5 minutes on this dance crew that is gonna come out.
Oh
and
my
perform.
god, I know. America's Got Talent's insufferable. I've only ever watched one.
Oh no.
I've only ever watched one full episode of it. When they
What?
added, they added Howard Stern to the judge crew. So I was like, let me see what this is like. Now it's gonna have like Simon Cowell and Howard Stern. Like they're gonna be like assholes. So I was looking forward to that. But then they were both like just on their best behavior, being super nice. And then you have to sit through like some 7-year-old kid doing magic for 5 minutes. I can't watch that shit.
No, I love the magic acts. I love the singing.
I hate magic. You know I hate close-up magic.
Yeah, you do. But you loved when Tom Cruise did it in that new Mission Impossible.
No, I did not.
That was your favorite. I love Daredevil acts. Anytime someone's like, I'm gonna do a crazy stunt. I love clairvoyant.
I only like Daredevil acts when it's a blind guy with a billy club.
No, I love them all when they jump through fire hoops, anything like that. Any like clairvoyant thing where it's like I can read your mind, any of that type of stuff.
Can we do Daredevil Elektra in January?
Sure. Yeah, it's on my list.
I do like that, the clairvoyant stuff. Like it's stupid and I don't believe in it, but it's like so old fashioned that I almost like it.
I don't know how they do it. Like even though it's obviously a trick somehow, I don't know how it's possible. Like are they plants in the audience who are like faking what they're thinking and it's not
I don't know.
real at all? I don't really understand.
I think they just ask leading questions. Like they're trained in it. They know what to say to get somebody to say something.
Yeah, they have the formula down at this point.
Yeah.
You could probably train people to be clairvoyants. Like it's just like any job ever. It's like I want to be a clairvoyant. I'm gonna train me, and then you do like a week, and then you're a clairvoyant.
Yeah, I think it's more like an art form. You know, like you can train someone to be a clairvoyant the same way you can train someone to be like a pro wrestler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's interesting. We think about it like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to this movie. What else? Oh, we got so he has sex with his wife, and we get like an animated sperm race with the mask characters. That was fun.
Yeah, I will say I didn't remember what this movie was about, and when I realized that it was gonna be a mask baby, like the mask impregnated somebody, I was like, that's pretty good.
I kind of agreed.
Yeah, it didn't turn out to be pretty good. Like it wasn't done well, but premise wise, I think they were onto something.
I'll be honest, I don't hate this movie.
I fucking do.
We've covered worse stuff than this.
Not much.
Maybe not much, but like the Miscongeniality sequel is worse. There are lots of sequels that are worse than this.
I don't think that's worse.
I think it is. There's the part in this when we're getting that great song and he's like bonding with the baby. I was like, oh, it's so sweet. I like it. The baby always looks stupid, but I don't know. I will say
that I was watching it the whole time. And there are plenty of movies that we've covered for the podcast that I would say technically are better than this or whatever, that I found insufferable to watch, that I had a hard time focusing, that I wanted to be anywhere but in front of my TV. And I never felt that way with this. Like it was bad, but I followed the story. I was entertained by it. Really, the only thing was the special effects were so annoying and bad. Like I thought Jamie Kennedy in that sequence at the party where he is the mask was so bad.
I hate the mask, like the man mask in this. I kind of like the baby.
I don't.
I mean, I don't, but compared to Kennedy's mask, I like him way more. I hate any time. Like, what
was the song he was singing?
Who?
Jimmy Kennedy. It was like he was doing like a rap version of "Can't Take My Eyes." It was like, "You're just too good to be true. A bebop, a bop, bop. Can't take my eyes." It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like singing it to my girlfriend afterwards to annoy her.
But I didn't. So, but I like Jamie Kennedy when he was like normal Jamie Kennedy, I think.
I thought it was a kind of weirdly low energy performance. I think he was like trying to tone himself down in the same way Jim Carrey tones himself down in the original. And I think what you're left with is kind of a boring dude.
I think he's kind of supposed to be. He's just
All
like
right.
he has a normal job that he's not happy with. He's like a young married guy. He just had a baby that he didn't even want. It's like
He
the
doesn't
wife.
even have a normal job. He works in an animation studio because these movies are obsessed with animation. All right.
But he's at least not like he's like a lowly guy to start with, right?
Yeah, but he immediately pitches this character to Stephen Wright of all people.
Yeah.
Another great stand-up comic.
Playing a guy named Daniel, by the way. His character's name is Daniel.
Stephen Wright is?
Whoever the boss was that the boss?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Stephen Wright's great stand-up. If you go watch some Stephen Wright stand-up,
I think that's the name of a survivor. Steve Wright.
It is. It's that guy from
Redemption Island.
No. Wait. You think it's the big tall guy? Oh, I'm thinking of David Wright.
Am I wrong?
What's that guy's name? Steve. It's his name's Steve. I know who you mean.
Steve Wright. America
It
Football.
is
He had
Steve
the white
Wright.
hair. He had the white
Okay.
hair. Remember, he was in.
Yeah. Oh no. Of course. It was like him and one other dude that were like, big bulky sidekicks for Boston Rob.
No, this guy was the opposing tribe. This guy was like on the other team.
Oh, who am I thinking? I think I'm thinking like Grant.
Oh, Philip and Grant, maybe.
Philip and Grant, right? So
Yeah.
he was on the tribe with like Ralph.
Exactly. Yep. He
Okay.
was like the main antagonist when they merged, basically.
Okay.
That's crazy. I remembered his name. But yeah, you're thinking of David Wright, of course.
Yeah.
Who also, I think, like did some animation writing. He could have written this movie.
Yeah,
He
that's
wrote for, like,
right.
Family Guy.
I think you're absolutely right. He worked for McFarlane.
So that would have been probably better than this. But anyway, but I want to say Loki's whole story in this, this is kind of like Terminator 2. He's just like going door to door looking for the baby, like killing people, causing chaos, right? It's Terminator 2.
Yeah.
That cop guy from Terminator 2.
Yeah, he keeps like turning himself into different stuff. I don't understand why people keep letting him have their babies.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think it's because I think it's trying to say something about how babies they just like drain you mentally, like you don't even care anymore. Like we get to the part where he goes to his house and he's like, I don't even care. Yeah, take the baby. Yeah, whatever. I think he's kind of talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, this film has a lot to say.
I don't know, but this was so random. I thought like I don't know what the wife does for work, but randomly halfway through the movie, she's like, I have to go to New York, so you are gonna be home with the baby. It's like what? What are you gonna do?
She does either.
I was so confused.
She works out of a pizza place.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But this is like when everything
Actually,
goes to
I think
chaos.
she was the only character that never worked at the pizza place.
What, she just stops by occasionally.
She's just there to see her friends. Yeah,
That's fun.
Pete and Berg.
Pete and Berg. You think Peter Berg saw that movie and was like, "What the hell? What is this? What's going on right now?"
Maybe, yeah. Berg was Ryan Reynolds.
I like the part where the baby does the exorcist.
I hated
Head
it.
around.
I hated anything to do with the baby. I hated this baby. I fucking hated it.
I
The
loved
dog.
it.
I hated the dog too, but at least when it was like a normal dog, it was cute. So like that was fine. But the baby was either just like an ugly baby or a really bad special effect.
Yeah, oftentimes
At
both.
all times. At all times.
Yeah, 100% of the time it's one or the other. Yeah,
Yeah.
and 60% of the time it's both.
Yeah.
His name's Alvy, by the way. You like that name?
They keep calling him Double A.
I fucking hate that.
I hated that
Like
too.
he's Jeff Jarrett or something. You can't do that.
Well, the first time they said it, I thought his name was gonna be like Aaron or something, but then it's just Alvy, whatever the last name is, starts with an A.
Yeah, it's dumb. Calling a baby
Avery.
Double A.
Oh, right. They named him Tim Avery, which is in homage to the classic animator Tex Avery.
Whatever. I didn't understand that. Shout out to Tim though, right?
I
Our good
guess.
friend Tim. I didn't understand the one part where Loki, he's after the mask the whole time, and then randomly he gets banished, for like Loki, like Odin is like, you're banished and you're gonna be immortal. And then so like halfway through now, Loki has like another motive. I don't know. It's like, I didn't like that
he
part.
like gets his powers back, but it's only because like it's if he doesn't get the mask, he's gonna get his powers taken away. So he's given his powers only to have them ripped away again.
Yeah, that's why he does that ritual, right? He like breaks in and does a ritual. And there's that nosy
Yes.
neighbor that he turns into a nose.
I don't remember that he turned a neighbor into a nose.
He turns her face into a big nose and is like, nosy
I
neighbors.
missed that. I missed that somehow. That's hilarious.
You like that? Oh, wow.
I mean, I feel like it's funnier you telling me than it would be me seeing the
It's like the
special
Scary
effects.
Movie 3 thing. Oh, also Jenny McCarthy. Not to bring up Jenny McCarthy again. Remember when I told you about the opening with Pam Anderson?
Oh yeah, remember I had two people tell me
Exactly.
about that
Yeah. So this is like the 5th time you've heard it now because I've brought it up many times since then, and you still have not seen
I
it.
still haven't. Yeah, the title sequence of Scary Movie 3.
All right, so let's go to the Twister scene because I thought about
Logan, again, you want me to do more video content for the show? I just reached into my pants. Okay, just absentmindedly.
tell us this.
Just I touched my balls. Okay, and then I sniffed my fingers. That would be on camera. You didn't need to know that.
Well, we're not even on camera, so you didn't have to tell me that.
I'm
So if you
just
feel
giving you a
comfortable
preview.
enough
This is the kind of
vocalizing it-
fucking video.
But if you're gonna tell us about it, then you may as well just do it. You know, we won't care.
Can't you just get an animator? I could tell you about it.
Oh my God. That would be incredible, actually.
Okay.
But I feel like they would have to spend a lot of time doing that. They would not be
Just
happy.
drawing me with my hands in my pants.
Yeah, that would be tough. But to Twister, I thought about there are like 15. Like if you can screenshot like 15 images in this scene, and there would be like 15 of the 20 nastiest things I've ever seen in a movie, just in this Twister scene.
What Twister?
Alan Cumming and the little baby go and play Twister. You don't remember that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It is disgusting.
I don't like anytime the baby like stretches its limbs or
Yeah, like
something.
its ear comes like
It
stretching
is
far.
fucking weird. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrifying, but it's a great scene.
Okay.
I liked the end. Like they do a boxing match, right?
Yeah. No. You're being too nice.
No, I am. I'm only doing it to kind of like annoy you a little bit. Like I didn't like this movie. It's really.
You're not
bad.
annoying me though. Like it. Like I don't have any faith in. Like I don't have any stock in this.
I don't
or
want people to
anything.
actually think I'm that positive on it because I'm not. But
This is-
but you're really negative, and I feel like I saw your girlfriend's review. She gave it a 1, so I'm already coming into this knowing that you and her probably hated this, and I didn't hate it.
Come
so-
on, but this is a 1.
Yeah, probably. I think
There's nothing to hang on to. The mat.
Okay.
What
fair
we
enough.
liked about the first movie is the production design and the special effects. I do think they tried with the production design here. They made like the sort of like tarted up version of the suburbs the same way they like made a heightened version of a city.
It's like a
in the
Pee-wee.
last one. Yeah. That worked for me. I'm gonna give it that. All right. I'll be nice. Okay. But here's the other things that worked about the first movie. The special effects. Special effects in this one are terrible. They're dog shit.
Mhm.
All right. They're sometimes literally dog shit.
Really? When's that happen?
I'm pretty sure we see some dog shit at some point.
Okay, you're probably right.
What about when he bounces around in that fucking doghouse in the backyard?
Yeah, he has a girlfriend at one point, right?
The dog? Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the dog keeps wanting to like go off and Jamie Kennedy says he wants to jump this other dog. I think it was Hump, and they changed it to get a PG rating.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, but I think that you have to be right. That's odd as hell.
Yeah. So the special effects are bad. The dog was good in the first one. The dog's not as good in this one. The dude in the last one was Jim Carrey, like at the height of his stardom rise. In this one, it's Jamie Kennedy about 2.5 seasons deep in the Jamie Kennedy experiment. Okay, in the woman in the last one, it was Cameron Diaz in a star-making, breathtaking breakout role. In this one, it's the girl from Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place. All right. I
Yeah.
mean, it is outrageous. You got your villains in this one. Okay, you're stepping up a little bit. And the last one was kind of nobody's. But you got Alan coming and you're wasting him, forcing him to do an American accent. And like, he's still the best part of the movie. You've got Bob Hoskins, who's in so much makeup that he's unrecognizable. He's only in like 2 scenes. It's embarrassing. I mean, this guy said he was drunk in every scene of Super Mario Brothers. He was fucking blackout. I doubt
He's on
remembers.
acid in this movie.
Oh my god. There is no way he remembers that he's in this.
Oh, no way. There's zero chance. Even though he
No.
probably he spent more hours in like makeup than he did shooting anything. He still doesn't know.
He has no memory of a moment of that. All right, at all. Okay. And I mean, what else? You got, I mean, Richard Jenny for Stephen Wright. That's sort of like an even trade. What else? The score is not there. It's bad. The animation influence is worse. It's
The whole plot is just way stupider.
I would also say, like, the only thing that makes sense if you're going to do a sequel to The Mask without Jim Carrey, it should be a completely different kind of character. It should be like a dude who rides motorcycles or something, or
Or a guy who uses it for evil.
or a high school kid or something. It, like, anything. Yeah, or a guy that uses it for evil. Right. You can't literally do a sequel to The Mask and have it be another guy who lives near Edge City who's also really into animation.
Yeah, 100%. And the mask, as we talked about, looks way worse. They gave it a hair piece for some reason, which is beyond stupid.
The Mask looks disgusting. I mean, the reason
I
I
never
didn't want
wanna
to
see it
watch
again.
this, the reason I didn't want to watch this when it came out was specifically because, like, when they announced Son of the Mask with Jamie Kennedy, I mean, we're only a couple of years removed from the height of my Scream obsession, Logan. Right. So, like, I'll watch I watched the Jamie Kennedy Experiment, every episode. I'm totally, when they announced Jamie Kennedy in The Mask 2, I was not annoyed by that. Okay. And then it came out and I saw a trailer for it and I saw the plastic hair on the mask and I was like, I'm not going to see that.
So this was your first time seeing it?
I've watched, I feel like I've seen enough bits and pieces on TV that I've seen
I feel
the
the
whole
same.
movie, but I've never watched it from beginning to end. No.
Yeah. That's amazing. I kind of feel like this is because I feel like if you were gonna make like notorious sequels that are worthless, but they made like because the first one was, I would point to like this and Speed 2 as like big examples of like of twos, that were just like really bad that I mean, nobody liked. You know,
think about this. I have on IMDb, I have rated 7,040 movies. Okay, that's how many movies I've seen in my life, and if you sort all the movies I've ever seen by average rating, lowest to highest, okay, Son of the Mask comes in at a trim 6th worst movie I've ever seen.
That is wild. What was the one we saw recently that was like a 0.9?
Might have been that Winnie the Pooh.
No.
Because look, I'm looking at this. The only things that have an average rating that I've watched lower than Son of the Mask are M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which is probably recency bias, the Slender Man live action movie, the Emoji Movie, and the Kissing Booth 3.
Oh, come on. Did they never see the second one? Second one's way worse.
Some movies that have higher average scores than Son of the Mask include Cats, Battlefield Earth, Home Alone 4, Fan-4-Stick, Alone in the Dark, Date Movie, Kissing Booth 2, Leprechaun Origins, House of the Dead, Halle Berry's Catwoman, and the Star Wars Holiday Special. And the Hottie and the Naughty with Paris Hilton.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. That's amazing stuff.
So it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty
All
terrible.
right. I give it a 1.
I mean, I guess I will too. But a couple things I liked. I liked early on where Jamie Kennedy's like, say dada, and the baby just keeps saying saying mom, but it says
Yeah.
that's the thing. It says like mother, so it's like in a funny way.
Yeah.
But then later on in the movie, baby says dada, and it's because he realized I don't need the mask on. I need to take the mask off, and he will choose me because I'm his
I feel
father.
like you were oddly moved watching this movie, and it's very confusing to me. Like you keep bringing up parts that you found touching.
Well, I always heard that it was really bad, and I always want to like. I think the podcast has made me want to be like a contrarian a little bit, where I want to have like the hot take, like this is better than this. I mean, not that two is better
Sometimes
than
you
one.
want to, but sometimes you can't do it, man.
Yeah, but I think I put enough effort into it where I did hold on to the nicer parts of the movie.
Okay.
So I liked that, and I liked the end, the whole thing where he came up with an idea where the pet and the child are competing for attention. That's like the show he pitched.
I know, but they show the show and it looks so bad.
Yeah, no, you're right. And she's like, "What an amazing show!" It's
I
like, really?
know. Also, it was like 20 seconds long.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Like, how is there a second episode? Like, what was that all? Like, I don't really understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. By the way, the end. Did you like at the end when we see the show and they have like weird feet shot? Did you notice that?
I didn't notice.
Oh my god, we see like the front of their feet, and then we cut to them, and we see the back of their feet, like the bottom of their feet. We
Damn.
see the entirety of their feet. It's weird. Check it out.
2 feet, a girl, and a pizza place. What
And at the end, she's pregnant again.
all right. She's like, I got one here. Points to her stomach. It's so bad.
And then zoom in on the baby, and the baby winks.
Oh my god. They should have zoomed in on her womb and shown the fetus wink.
Oh my god, you're right. I think they were too late into post production. They were like,
Maybe.
yeah, no, let's just do the baby. That's good though. I like that a lot.
Thanks.
I'll give it a 1. I will give it a 1.
Who's your MVP?
My MVP, I'm gonna go with little baby.
Oh god. I mean,
No, Alan Cumming. I have to go Alan Cumming.
yeah. All right. So I was between Stephen Wright and Alan Cumming. Since you're going Alan Cumming, I'll give it to Stephen Wright.
Yeah. Who is Stephen Wright again? Actually, the boss. He's in like 4 scenes.
Yeah, but at least during those scenes, I was like, "Hey, there's Stephen Wright."
I can't take that away from you.
Yeah.
And my LVP, I have to go with Odin. I really had no idea that was Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, that is a wild one. I'm gonna go with Jamie Kennedy.
I thought he was fine as like the normal like
I
suburban
didn't.
dad. I thought he was fine.
I thought he was low energy the whole movie, even when he was the mask.
That's a good criticism.
I don't know. I read that they worked the filming schedulers around Jamie Kennedy experiment, and I wonder whether he just had his heart in that project.
Well, that's really annoying.
Yeah.
I feel bad for everybody who made this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw an interview with Jamie Kennedy about this movie, and I watched it. It was a video. Because I was like, well, that's interesting. I bet he has some like cool stories because it's such a disaster of a movie. But it literally just was like, when they showed me the special effects demo, it looked cool, and then the movie came out and I thought it looked bad. And I was like, Jamie Kennedy, you are useless. You have nothing to say.
Yeah, I could tell you that by like watching the movie probably.
Yeah. All right.
By the way, you wouldn't have been able to see that interview if it was just recorded audio, right?
Eat
But you
shit,
stumbled
Logan.
upon the video.
Eat shit.
Just like-
I would have listen, the poll. We put a poll up for
yes.
Christmas.
By the way, I asked for comments on this movie. Nobody cared. No, I guess nobody cares.
Who could blame him?
Yeah, seriously.
Listen, it was between The Omen or The Muppets for Christmas, celebrating the birth of Christ with the birth of the Antichrist, or getting nice and cozy with our good friends, the warm-hearted Muppets, and also they have a Christmas movie. Okay. So we're gonna start that new project next week, gang. And the first 2 Muppet movies, I believe, are the Muppet Movie and Muppets Take Manhattan. Am I right about that?
Oh, I have zero idea.
Okay, let me just double check real quick.
Yeah, and we need to check if they're that for a fact it's like an even number. So we would do the first.
I know
two.
that. I know that.
It's 8 total.
Yeah,
Okay.
8 theatrically released Muppet movies. How do I find this Muppet franchise?
But I'm sure if you look at like different sites, it'll have different numbers.
I know, but I'm just trying to find a list of all of them. I could do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that not on Wikipedia? Like, I'm on the Muppet Movie, and they're acting like that's the only Muppet movie.
I see. It looks like the Muppet Movie and then the Great Muppet Caper,
Oh, that's the one I haven't seen.
and then Take Manhattan, and then Christmas, then Treasure Island.
Here we go. I found it. You're right. Okay, so next week it's the Muppet Movie, Great Muppet Caper. Then it's Muppets Take Manhattan and Christmas Carol. Then Treasure Island and Space. And then Jason Segel, Ricky Gervais.
So it's a very merry Muppet Christmas movie. That's not a real thing.
That doesn't count.
Wizard of
There's
Oz is not a real thing.
8 theatrically released Muppets movies.
All right. So next week, Muppets Movie and Great Muppet Caper. Which one's the one where they ride the bicycle?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, there's like a famous thing where Kermit rides a bicycle, and you're like, how the hell is he riding a bicycle? That's not a real person. How are they getting like a puppet to ride a bicycle? What the fuck is happening?
That's probably the Muppet Movie.
That shit's crazy.
All right, well, we'll talk about it next week. In the meantime, keep your TVs hot, keep your masks off.
Should I play that Future song?
Mask off. Yeah, you should. All right, and patreon.com/the franchise. This week we've got covering 2 more episodes of Buffy and Angel, and we've got the summer shows, the Sunday Night Wars of 1988, the SummerSlam and Great American Bash 1988.